What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. It is your Friday edition. It is August 22nd. If you've never been here before, welcome. So what we do here, already ran 10,000 simulations in the background. We are going to go game by game on this main slate, 13-game main slate today. We're going to look at both pitchers. We're going to look at how they do, home and away splits, BVP. We're going to look at everything. Then we're going to look at our top 3 to top 5 bats from each team in each game. After that, we're then going to do our other segments. Second segment is called the matchup tool. So we're going to look at all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 simulations, followed by pitches be crazy, and then followed by Makin bacon. So if you are into sports betting, stick around. You might like what we bring to the table later on. Something else I think you guys will like. We try to have giveaways every single day. We try to have 2 of them, and here's how you can win. The first way, like this video, be a subscriber to the channel, and leave a comment. Do all 3 of those in this video right here, gets a minimum of 50 likes. You will have a shot at a free week of FTA+. 100 likes on the video, and that's a free week of all sports. So current sports we do, MLB, NASCAR, PGA, MMA. NFL obviously is in a couple of weeks. We have an NFL league down below from DraftKings. It's going to be $5 per week. And then at the end of the year, whoever has the top 3 teams that have the most amount of points, winner will get a full lifetime pass. Second place will get a yearly pass, and third place will get a monthly pass. So make sure you check that out. So if this video right here gets 100 likes, you're gonna have a chance at a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. So let's see who the 2 winners are. So this is because Thursday's video ended up getting over 700, I think over 800 views and 90 likes by the time I filmed this. So basically, you got to get those likes in there before the main slate locks. So we're going to see who the winner is. The second way to win is there'll be a keyword somewhere, and then you'll type it in. Cosmo, congratulations. No headphones, no problem. You won yourself another free week. Congratulations. Now, you did have the keyword, but we're still going to re-roll it for the keyword. So you did just win for the likes. So please hit me up with an email, dfshelp1@gmail.com. Say you are the 821 video likes winner, and then your username on the website. Now we're still going to re-roll it, so he could still win because he had the keyword of headphones in there. And the winner of the headphones is, there you go, Debonair. Congratulations. Yeah, there you go. Headphones, the Yankees win. Congrats to both of you. You guys know the drill. Email me. We'll get you set up. Now, we are going to use outlier.bet, so we are going to use them to look at all of the games when we go game by game using this. And then we're going to have an article. In this article, we're going to have some of our top plays BVP-wise, and then some of our top stacks, so you can find that link down below. And I've still had more people come through. If you guys are interested in that yearly package, normally the yearly package is $199 for the full year. But if you guys email me right now, it's 10 total spots. So if you email me and then we get in there, and we've had another person yesterday take one of the spots. So I think we have 4 spots left. So the next 4 people that are interested in getting a yearly pass instead of $200, get it for $75. Email me right now, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will get you set up fast. So before we jump into the games, I'm just looking at the chances for home runs. The biggest chance, Steinbrenner Field, St. Louis at Tampa Bay. Wind is blowing directly out. Citizens Bank Park, 16% chance. Angel Stadium, 18% chance. Guaranteed Rate Field, American Family Field, both 18% chance. And then Yankee Stadium, 16% chance. Now, we do have some weather concern in some of these games. We're still going to cover it, and we're going to look at everything. So, looking at the main slate right here, we've got the Houston Astros facing the Baltimore Orioles. Lance McCullers is going. He has not pitched. It's been over a month in that game, minus 5.4. I'm expecting him, coming back from a blister, permitted just 1. So he did okay. Shouldn't have any workload, they say, but we look at splits. He has not faced Baltimore this year. When he is pitching on the road this year in 5 starts, he does have a 2.01 ERA, so way better than he is at home. And we know that Baltimore is a team that they're struggling this year. Then you got Cade Povich. He comes in 6,000. He's a very cheap option. He's faced Houston once this year, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 10 strikeouts in that game, 20.4. Now, he had about a month and a half off here, so we did see that. Basically, though, he's hit what we need, especially his price. So we're looking for between 20 to 30 fantasy points on DraftKings and 40 to 50 on Fanduel. The pitches are in the 90s, so we should be pretty good there. I know Houston's offense has been pretty good, but they have struggled a little bit recently. So both are cheap options. I think both are tournament options. I don't trust either of them for cash. What I would do is I would look at bats on both sides. So the Houston bats against Povich that have had success, Correa, Pena, and Jose Altuve all have home runs, and those are pretty much who I would take against lefties. I would also maybe look at Mauricio Dubon if he gets a start, and then maybe a little bit of Cam Smith if he is in there as well. Baltimore bats against McCullers, they really have not seen him at all. Against righties, though, they do hit righties very well. So if I were to take my top three, probably Gunnar, probably cheap option would be I'd go Colton Cowser, and then a cheap option, Jeremiah Jackson there. 28 at bats, so not much, but still batting .393, so he is hitting lefties well. I would take both pitchers for tournaments. I would not in cash. Boston at the Yankees, you got Max Fried versus Bayo. So Bayo obviously is cheaper, but Fried, he has not looked as good since he's had one good start against Tampa Bay, but basically since he got a blister on July 12th, it's been downhill since then. Gone 5 innings in those games. He's given up earned runs in every single start since then. Strikeouts they're there, but the walks and the earned runs are really what's holding him back. Splits-wise, he's faced Boston once this year when he was doing well, went 7 innings, 9 Ks, had 25 fantasy points. Now, you look at splits, he pitches at home. He is better at home, so you could use that. He is very expensive, and he has not hit value in a very long time. That is my problem there. Then Bayo comes in, kind of up and down here. 2 starts in a row that were so-so. 2 good starts there. Splits-wise, he's faced the Yankees once this year, got 32.2 fantasy points, 7 innings, 8 Ks, no earned runs. Now, I think the team's hitting a little bit better than they were when they were facing him last time. When he pitches on the road, he does have a worse ERA, and it's in Yankee Stadium. So I would give that a little bit of a pause in using. I think both pitchers are probably tournament option. I do give the advantage a little bit to Fried, but it just depends on which Max Fried we're going to get. Really don't know. I think he's still a blister problem, and he's just pitching through it. If we're looking at batters against Fried, like Trevor Story has a home run. Against lefties, though, Rami Gonzalez could be a cheap option. Trevor Story. I would look at Carlos Narvaez. He's murdering the Yankees this year. Bregman is another one that I would look at. Yankees bats against Bayo. Bellinger has 2 home runs. Volpe has 1. The bats I would use, hopefully he's in there. Again, I would use Judge and then Stanton. I would use Belly. I would use Grisham. And I'm probably going Jazz as well here. I'll probably go with those. Ben Rice is another one that I would stack. So obviously we like more than 5. It just depends. Like Stanton might sit out of this game. You never know what Boone's going to do or analytics department's going to do. So we kind of got to wait to see and play the waiting game there. But I think it could be a good game for the bats. Kansas City at Detroit is next. You got Casey Mize versus Ryan Bergert. I mean, overall, like he's coming off a great start against Minnesota. Okay. And then not so good start against Minnesota. Splits-wise, he's faced Kansas City twice this year, 10.1 innings. He's averaging 12.1, which is not enough. He's got 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 7 Ks. Pitching at home, he does have a better ERA, but it's still 3.48. So I don't mind him for tournaments. And then Bergert, 2.75 ERA. Splits-wise, has not faced the Tigers this year. When he pitches at home, he's got a 3.50. Again, he got traded, so his home and away splits are kind of different. But if you think about it that way, he's pitching away in 6 starts, 2.36. He's been better on the road. At 7,200, I think a lot of people are going to be on Detroit. I think if you're on Bergert a little bit, I don't mind that. If we're looking at bats, though, that's the key. That's the key right there. KC bats against Casey Mize. You got Bobby Witt with 2 home runs, and you got Sal Perez with 1. I would use those 2. I would use Vinny Pasquantino, who hit a home run, I believe, on Thursday. I would also look a little bit of Mike Yastrzemski. Those are probably the bats that I go with Kansas City side. And the Detroit, they've never faced Bergert before. Obviously, he was with San Diego, so they probably wouldn't have. They don't hit righties as well, but if I'm looking at it, I'm looking at Riley Green, my number 1, Kerry Carpenter, my number 2, Colt Keith, my number 3. Now, you guys know if you've been with us before, there's also Torkelson and Torres that we could look at, but for whatever reason, Kerry Carpenter's batting very well. Strikeouts are lower. OPS is higher. He's got the home runs. He's got the RBIs, but they like to pull him late in the games for defensive subs. That's the thing that scares me with him. But hopefully he can get us the fantasy points we need before it gets too late into the game, just in case. Toronto at Miami's next. So we've got Shane Bieber versus Ryan Gusto. Now, my problem with this one is it's not 100% confirmed that it is Gusto. It is his turn in the rotation. Or it's actually, he hasn't pitched for a while. Yeah, okay, so he did. So he got sent down. He's getting called back up to start the game here because Cal Quantrill is now on the Braves. So we look at this. He's already faced Toronto once this year. 5.2 innings. He actually did pretty well. 24.4, obviously, when he was with Houston. I don't mind him at 7,000. Then Shane Bieber comes off the IL. Obviously, he's not pitched this year. He's thrown 90 pitches in his last rehab start, so we should be seeing 90 pitches or so. But again, I don't think he pitched last year, right? Yeah, I mean, he hasn't pitched since April of last year, so we know it's been a long time. Something to look at. Tournament-wise, I'm okay with that. I don't like how Bieber's coming in, and he's 9,000. He has not pitched in a year and a half. I don't like that price. I know he's going up against Miami. I don't like that. I think I'd rather look at maybe Gusto for tournaments. Bieber, I think his price might be, and he could have a good game. I'd probably look at Miami bats. Kyle Stowers comes to mind up first. Jacob Marcy, Augusto Ramirez, and Xavier Edwards I would look at. If I am looking at Toronto bats, Vladdy's probably still out of here, and even if he was in there, I don't think I want to pay $5,200 for a bum hammy unless he's already been put on the IL since you watch this video. But George Springer, Bichette, Varsho, Barger, those are the ones that I would look at. I want to trust. Or Stowers is out. Sorry, Miami. I want to trust Bieber here, but I don't know what we're going to get out of him. And I don't like if he was cheaper, it would make a little bit more sense to me. A little bit at least. You got the Mets at the Braves next. You got Nolan McLean versus Joey Wentz. McLean, one start against Seattle, dominated. 28.4, 5.1 innings, 8 Ks. He did have 4 walks. So had he not had any of those walks, we're probably looking at 35 to 40 range because he probably would have been able to. I mean, he went 91 pitches and still had 8 strikeouts. So had he not gotten at least 16 more pitches, you could potentially see 40 plus fantasy points. 8,700 is kind of wild. He started at 8,500. I know he's going up against Atlanta and they've struggled this year. I don't love that price. Joey Wentz comes in. Good game his last start against Cleveland. Splits wise, he has not faced the Mets this year. Pitching at home, he does have a 6.46, and the Mets are good. So we'll just see how the Mets do against lefties. We'll look at that. So Lindor does have a home run against him. Against lefties, they don't hit as well. But I would look at Cedric Mullins. I would look at Jeff McNeil. I would look at Pete Alonso and Lindor. Probably Soto as well if I'm building a lineup there. Then the Braves against McLean. Obviously, they've never seen him before. But they do hit righties well. The ones I would look at, Acuna. I would look at Marcell Ozuna. And I'm probably going to look at Drake Baldwin and Matt Olson. Jerkson Profar is another one if you want to look at those. So pricing-wise, I don't love the price there. Maybe a little bit of Joey Wentz. Now, he's only averaging 5 fantasy points a game. He would be one if I make multiple lineups and multiple different pitchers because the way the Mets just don't hit as well. But again, there's some rain concern here, so definitely something to monitor to see if the rain will be sticking around or what it's going to happen. Now, again, anything can happen with these storms. Just hopefully it doesn't start pouring when they're there, and then that is it. Especially if it starts and we get in the first inning. I don't want to see that. St. Louis at Tampa Bay, Adrian Hauser versus Miles Michaelis. I don't like either of these pitchers. I would rather look at offenses on both sides. 100%. The wind is blowing out of here. It's very hard to want to take a pitcher, and it's kind of where I'm in my thought there. So If I'm looking at like Tampa Bay pitchers, because I don't like Michaelis, I stacked the Yankees against him last start. I would look at Caminero. I would look at Brandon Lau. I'd look at Chandler Simpson, Yandy Diaz, and probably Josh Lowe if he gets in there. And then St. Louis bats, Wilson Contreras is probably my top one. Alec Burleson, Lars Nootbaar, and maybe a little bit of Ivan Herrera if Herrera gets in there. But I don't want anything to do with the bats just because the minor league ballpark. And we'll have to wait to see if the weather does hold up. Minnesota at the White Sox is next. You got Zebby Matthews versus Aaron Savale. Matthews comes in. Didn't really do much against Detroit. A couple of good games here in a row. You look at splits, he has not faced them. He's never faced the White Sox before. When he pitches on the road, he does have a 5.46. The White Sox are bad, but he is not good on the road this year. Still has a 5 ERA coming into this. Then Savale comes in, like 2 bad starts in a row. Really good start against the Angels. Has not faced the Twins this year. And when he pitches at home, 6.25. I mean, both of these guys, home and the road, they're not very good. So I would look at the bats on both sides. Now, we know the White Sox are a bad team. So I think their ownership's probably going to be less than 5%. So against Savale, Byron Buxton has 3 home runs. I'm guessing 3 for 18 with 3 home runs. Trevor Larnach has a home run. I would use those 2. I would use Luke Keeschel. I'm probably looking at Cody Clemens as well. Maybe a little bit of Matt Wallner if he gets in there. And then the White Sox have never faced Matthews, but probably looking at Colson Montgomery. Probably looking at Lennon Sosa, Mike Tauchman, Kyle Teal, and maybe Baldwin. It just depends if Teal and Baldwin are both in. I don't know if they will be, but those would be the ones that I'd look at. Edgar Quero, we could look at. It just depends. But that's what I would look at in that one. I don't trust the offenses there, and the pitching would probably be tournament only for me. Next game, we've got Cleveland at Texas. We got Eovaldi versus Slade Ciccone. Evaldi's probably one of my favorite pitchers today. Coming off decent against Toronto. Splits-wise, he has not faced Cleveland this year. Cleveland's offense has looked bad compared to other years. And looking at this on the season, he's averaging 21.4. And when he pitches at home, he's got a 226. So I love Eovaldi here. He's probably my favorite player of the day. The only problem is he's obviously injury prone, and what they're doing with like DeGrom and like holding their innings back a little bit, I could see that happening here. Ciccone, on the other hand, at 13.2, 6,700 is what I would look at. Cheaper option. I think both pitchers are okay. Looking at the simulation so far, I don't like either of the offenses. So at the moment through 10,000 sims, I am strictly looking just for the pitchers in this one. I'm not looking at the bats. Moving to the next game, we got San Francisco at Milwaukee. The team is unbeatable right now. So, I mean, they just won 80 games for the first time, or the first team to win 80 games this year. You got Carson Whisenhunt versus Jose Quintana. Whisenhunt coming in 3 starts, 1 good, 2 bad. Looking at this on the road, he has been better in 1 start, but I don't trust it. Milwaukee is all the way is what I would go. Then Quintana, 59 plate appearances against San Francisco in his career, 255 batting average. So pretty good. And then when he pitches this year, he's already faced him once, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 3 Ks, 16.7. Obviously, he had more strikeouts. We're probably looking at 20 plus, which is what you would want. My problem here, blitz-wise, when he pitches at home, he's got a 4.43. So he's been worse at home in 8 starts. Little bit scary. If I were to take a pitcher, it'd probably be Quintana, but I don't know if I'll have exposure to him much, but we'll definitely see. But we'll look at the bats. We'll look at both sides. We'll see if there are any bats that make sense. Keyword of the day is pressed. This juice from Costco is delicious. This is strawberry, orange, mango. They've got like 4 flavors. San Francisco bats against Quintana. Wilmer Flores and Willie Adames both have home runs. Against lefties, this team doesn't really hit lefties very well. If I were to take any, it's probably Wilmer Flores, Devers, Jung Ho Lee. He hits lefties very well this year. maybe Elliot Ramos on as well. But the one I want to go, so they think it's going to be Logan Webb. It looks like it's Carson Whisenhunt. Now Carson's a lefty, so we could see. But I mean, I'm still taking Yelich in this one. I'm still taking Sal Frelick. I'm taking William Contreras. Full stack, probably Caleb Durbin. We usually take against lefties, and maybe Isaac Collins is another one that I would look at. But I love the Brewers as a stack in this game. Quintana a little bit for tournaments, and then the Brewers as a full stack is where I'd go. Cubs at the Angels right now. Right now, it's not been confirmed either pitcher. It is Brown's turn in the rotation. He's been very up and down this year, and then Tyler Anderson has gotten lit up as well. Yeah, this one scares me. I'd rather just go the bats overall. Nito, are you going to be out, or what's going on? Probably is back. He might have another day. But if I am looking at bats in this one, Cubs bats that I'm looking at, Bush and Suzuki, for sure. Equal Armstrong's there. I'm okay with. Carson Kelly a little bit, and maybe Ian Happ. If I'm going Angels bats, if it has been Brown, Ward is probably my number 1. Trout is my number 2. Nito would be my number 3 if he's in there, but I don't know. So Joe Adell is probably where I'm going at in this one. I just don't want the pitching here. Although the Angels do strike out the most out of any team. So if it is in fact Ben Brown, or you want to go for some sports bets, you could look into that because they do strike out the most of any team right now. What did Ohtani get hurt with? Oh, okay. That's fine. Next game, we got Cincy at Arizona. Obviously, the offense here usually goes up and down. You've got Zach Littell versus Ryan Nelson. So Littell, he's had one good start for the Reds, and then kind of so-so since then. Splits-wise, he's faced Arizona once this year, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, only 2 Ks at 7.3. And this is in Arizona. I don't like that. And then when he pitches on the road this year, 376. So he's just been worse on the road. And Coors Field Jr. here, Great American Small Park. Don't think I want him. I don't want Littell. And then Nelson comes in. He's been very inconsistent this year. He does have a sub-4 ERA. Faced Cincy once this year, gave up 7 earned runs in that game. Probably in Cincy. Let's see. Yeah, it was in Cincy. The ballpark gives home runs away like free candy. This ballpark, same thing. So that does scare me. Probably just looking at bats on both sides. If we're looking at Cincy bats against Nelson, no one has a home run, but against righties this year, I mean, they smash righties, you can see. I'd probably use TJ Friedl. I'd use Noelvi Marte. I would use Ellie, Trevino, probably Brian Hayes or Gavin Lux. It just depends on the lineup that comes out. I think I kind of like 2+ different stacks of the Reds today. And then Arizona versus Zach Littell. Pavin Smith's the only one with a home run. But against righties this year, you got Ketel Marte I would use Corbin Carroll. I would use Alec Thomas, Adrian Del Castillo. Probably Geraldo Perdomo, who's got batting 270 with double-digit home runs against righties as well. So pitching-wise, again, don't love the pitching in this game. Would rather go offense. Dodgers at San Diego is next. You got Blake Snell versus Yu Darvish. Kind of teams be flipping here. Snell coming in. Obviously hasn't pitched much this year. But since coming back off the IL, 18+ fantasy points in all the games. Did just face San Diego last start, 19.3. Last Saturday, 6 innings, no earned runs, 3 Ks. Obviously, we'd love to see more strikeouts there. Looking at that, when he pitches on the road, it's 1 start on the road, 5.40 ERA. So it's kind of hard to say, but this is a pitcher's ballpark. And I don't believe San Diego hits lefties as well. Then you got Yu Darvish. He really has hit value twice this year. Been very up and down, just had 8 against the Dodgers. That was it. If Ohtani is out, give a little bit of boost to him. But I think I'd rather just go bats overall. Seeing as how they just faced each other last start, always kind of give the advantage a little bit to the batters because they've just seen him, 3 at-bats probably against the starting pitcher. But home runs against Darvish, Freeman has 3, Conforto has 1, Betts, Smith, and Andy Paez all have 1. Against righties this year, if I'm taking him, Freddie Freeman, who's had success against him and against righties, I would look at Ohtani if he's in there, but again, he might not be. Will Smith will be my third one. Paez and then Teoscar Hernandez are probably where I'd go there. And then San Diego against Snell, Diaz has a home run, and Ryan O'Hearn has a home run. But against lefties, they don't hit very well. He didn't strike anyone out last time. So if I were to look at it, maybe Machado, maybe Gavin Sheets if he gets in there is a cheaper option I would look at. Laureano, and that might be it for right now. Again, we'll see what pops up through simulations, but pitching-wise, I think I'd rather trust Blake Snell just a little bit more. I'm always concerned when a team just sees the other team, and that does scare me. Then we got a final game. We got the Athletics at the Mariners. You got Luis Morales versus to be announced, but they do believe it's going to be Brian Wu. It is his turn in the rotation. 3 straight really good starts. Splits-wise, he's faced the Athletics 3 times this year. 18.1 innings, 11 earned runs, 17 strikeouts, averaging 14.5. Now, looking at that, I'm curious. That one came in Sacramento. That one came in Sacramento. And that one came at home. So the one good start he had was opening day for them against Seattle, or in Seattle against the Athletics, 22.5. I would definitely look at him, especially at home. You look at splits, or when's the other time they faced him? In Sacramento. Am I missing one? What, am I not seeing it? Yeah, I'm taking Brian Wu at home against this team. Yes, please. Morales comes in, game logs, 3 starts. Well, 1 start. Now, the Mariners do strike out the 3rd most out of any team. So he is getting up in pitches there his last start. So that's not bad, especially if he goes through here and he pitches here on the road. I think Morales is great. I think Wu is your tournament option. I think Wu is your cash option, and Morales is your tournament option. If I'm going bats, I'm personally not going Athletics bats, but you could look at Langoliers. You could look at Nick Kurtz. Probably look at Brent Rooker. If you're going Seattle bats, obviously Cal Raleigh, J-Rod, Arozarena, Suarez, and Naylor would be the ones that I'd go with in that one. There you have it. Those are the 13 games on the main slate. If you want to see even more under the MLB tab, again, instead of $200 for a yearly pass, that includes all sports. You can get it for $75. It's first come, first serve. Email me right now, dfshelp1@gmail.com. Now we're going to look at all of the batters. I have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Now these are through 10,000 sims, and about 2 hours before this main slate locks tomorrow night, or anytime a main slate locks, about 2 hours before that happens, we've updated it to 20,000 sims. So these, again, are through 10,000 sims right now. Number 1 is Aaron Judge. 2 is Brandon Lau. 3 is Junior Caminero. 4 is Bobby Witt Jr. 5 is Brian Reynolds. 6 is Spencer Horwitz. 7, Gunnar Henderson. 8, Tommy Pham. 9, Andrew McCutchen. 10, Yandy Diaz. 11, Corey Seager. 12, Jack Sawinski. 13, Wyatt Langford. 14, William Contreras. 15, Dylan Cruz. 16, Nick Gonzalez. 17, Josh Smith. 18, Sal Frelick. 19, Marcus Semien. 20, Ha-Sung Kim. 21, Jared Triolo. And 22, Joey Bart. So the majority of the games, or the majority of the top 10 out of 10s are the 2 early, well, Pittsburgh, because it's in Coors, the 2 early games that are not on this main slate. So you can always look into that. It will update throughout the day. Once we have all of the pitchers confirmed 100%, we run simulations throughout the day. So pitchers be crazy. Again, these are the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most against the pitchers that are going against them, or the ones that are supposed going against them. So we've got 1, Ben Brown at the Angels. The Angels strike out 9.8 times per game, 9.71 at home. Number 2 is Braxton Ashcraft versus Colorado. Colorado strikes out 9.28 times per game, 9.76 on the road. Number 3 is Luis Morales at Seattle. Seattle strikes out 9.02 times per game. They strike out 9.03 at home. Number 4 is Max Fried versus Boston. Boston strikes out 8.85 times per game, 10.07 on the road. And number 5, Ryan Berger at Detroit. Detroit strikes out 8.79 times per game, 8.55 at home. And then the final one, we're going to do Makin Bacon. We are going to look at some of the batters we like. Now, I wouldn't parlay all of these together, but these are ones I would target, whether or not you want to target them for home runs, hits, RBIs, total bases, whatever you want to do. These are some of them that I am looking at. Junior Caminero is number 1. Number 2 is Brandon Lau. Number 3 is Yandy Diaz. 4 is Brian Reynolds. 5 is Spencer Horwitz. 6 is Josh Lowe. 7 is Bryce Harper. 8 is Trey Turner. 9, Bobby Witt Jr. 10, Corey Seager. 11, Tommy Pham. 12, Vinny Pasquantino. 13, JT Realmuto. 14, Chandler Simpson. And 15 is Aaron Judge. So 15, obviously, you don't want to parlay 15 of them together, but you could parlay some of them together and see about, whichever sports bet you want to do. Maybe like four leg or maybe 5 leg. Don't get crazy with it, though. And then looking at pitchers for maybe strikeouts we would target. Zebby Matthews versus the White Sox. 6+ strikeouts. I'm okay with that one. 2 is Cade Povich versus Houston. 6+ strikeouts. Blake Snell versus San Diego. Now, he didn't have very many strikeouts last time, but you can get 4+ strikeouts, maybe go to 5. I'm okay with that. Nolan McLean versus the Braves, since they've never seen him before. 4+ to 5+ strikeouts. I'm okay with that one. Nate Eovaldi versus the Guardians. 4 to 5 strikeouts. And then finally, Casey Mize versus Kansas City. I would look at 4, maybe 5 strikeouts as well. So there you have it. That is your Friday edition 13-game main slate. We've covered it all, hopefully. Hopefully you guys had a great time Thursday. Whatever you did, good luck. Don't forget to use the keyword that we typed in there. Check out everything on the website. I believe for MMA, it's very early on Saturday. So every day's MLB, Thursday's PGA, Saturday's MMA, and Sundays are NASCAR until we've got football. If you don't know what we've done for football, go check out our playlist from last year. We break down showdowns for Thursday Night Football. We do main slate Sundays. We do Sunday Night Football breakdown, and then we do Monday Night Football breakdown as well. We build lineups. We use SaberSim. We try it all. So MMA is like 2 a.m. 2 a.m. my time, which is crazy. It's in China, so everything will have to be done pretty early and get everything out. It is very early, which is I don't know if it's ever been that early. I think the earliest was Abu Dhabi, and it was at like 5 a.m. my time. So 2 a.m. is wild. But we'll have, under the MLB or MMA tab, we'll have simulations in our cheat sheet. Along with our cheat sheet, we'll have optimal lineups on there as well, just like with MLB, if you've never seen it. So that's what I've got. You can check us out for $10 for a week if you want to check that out, and then you want to go more. We still have that special going on. You just got to email me. Get $75 a year instead of $200. So good luck today, and as always, bring home some bacon.